Well, hey there. Me and Blue are fixing to get saddled up and get ready to go at a rodeo, but this is part 2 of how to buy a horse. You know, many people, when they go to try to buy an amazing animal like this the first time, they buy the wrong one. They buy one that bucks, they buy one that bites, they buy one that has a surprise in them that nobody even knows about. So, if you want to learn how to buy a horse and do it the right way to protect yourself and to protect, the animal that you're getting, go ahead and watch part 1. If you haven't seen that, it's in the description below. This is part 2 on how to buy a horse. If you like it, go ahead and leave a comment, like, subscribe, all of that stuff. If you have a topic on a video that you want me to cover, to discuss, put it in the comment section below, because I answer every single comment, and guess what? That's where I get my inspiration to create the next video. I'll see you on the next one. I hope you enjoy it. Adios. Number 4 is we go try them out. So when we try out the horse, there's things that we're looking for. Number one thing that we're looking for when we try out a horse is we are 100% looking for consistency every time. We want the horse to go do his job without you having to force him to do it every time. And so many times when we go and we look at horses, we make 1 run or we make 2 runs, and that's great. But after 2 runs, a horse changes. I'm going to tell you a quick story. This one time I went to this guy's house, and he's a horse trader, and I would go and I'd ride this horse from like 2 times at his house, and the horse was awesome every time, and he was really clever. This guy's a fast talker, really clever, and I had no money, you guys. Like, I had no money. The money that I was going to borrow or buy this horse with, I was going to have to borrow it from the bank. Like, I was borrowing all the money to buy this horse. So I'd go to the guy's house the first time. He's like, all right, you can run 2 calves on him, and that's it. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So I back in there, make 2 good runs. I leave. I come back a week later. He's like, all right, you can run 2 calves, and that's it. So I go and I come back and I rope 2, and it goes amazing. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna win the world on this horse. I'm gonna make the national finals the first time on this horse. So I buy the horse. I paid $20,000 for this horse, and I gave him my horse trailer, right? And the horse trailer wasn't like worth a lot. It was like, a really old stock trailer, but it was the only trailer that I had. I literally, when I left, I had to borrow a trailer to pick up the horse that I borrowed the money for and gave him my horse trailer, and then I left. So I get home and I rope 2 calves, goes really good. The horse is doing awesome. I go to ride in the box on the 3rd calf. You'll never guess what happened. The horse put his head down and he backed up the entire length of the arena. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I just put my life savings, what little bit I had into this horse, plus I borrowed the money, and I gave this guy my horse trailer, and I have nothing now, and now I have a horse that after 2 calves won't go in the box. What happens if I gotta go to a 3-head jackpot roping? I'm done. And I was so mad, so I thought, all right, I'm gonna show this horse, I'm gonna show him who the boss is. And I just whip him. I whip him both sides to be like, hey, I'm the boss, you're not the boss. And he puts his head down and he goes back up. Even more, harder, all the way to the other end of the arena. And I'm like so embarrassed because I'm at somebody else's house roping, and the horse backs all the way to the end of the arena. And I'm like, okay, whipping him didn't work because, like, showing him the boss, obviously somebody's already tried to show this horse that they're the boss. And that didn't work either. So I just turned the horse around and I back him up. I literally backed the horse all the way back down the arena in the box. So get this. I'm like a young, supposed to be good calf roper, and I buy this horse. I spend all my money. I borrow the money. I give the guy my horse trailer. I go to ride the box. The horse backs the length of the arena. I can't get him to go forward. So then I turn the horse around and I back him all the way down the arena to the box, in the box. And I'm like, all right, I figured it out. Now every time I got to go to the rodeo, I just back in the box. And so I get in the box and I got my rope ready and I'm really focused. And by this point, I'm like mega mad. You know the cartoons where like the face goes red and there's like steam coming out the ears? Like, this is me. And I don't know if y'all noticed, I'm kind of like an Irish redhead. So I used to have a really bad temper. I don't have a temper anymore as much because my kids kind of calmed it down, but I used to have a really bad temper. So I'm back in the box, right? And it was a long ways to back because I backed all the way down the arena. And I get in there and I nod my head and I chase after this calf, and 3 swings out. The horse is running amazing. Then all of a sudden, this horse cuts in 2. He goes to bucking, and every time he bucked, my butt and this saddle got farther away from each other like this. And I couldn't get bucked off. Like every time I tried to like buck and go one direction, and granted, we're going really fast. Like we were running after a calf as fast as we could go. And finally, after about like 4 bucks, I come down as he's coming up, and the saddle horn, I didn't land in the middle of the saddle. The saddle horn hit me in my private area, which to this day, it was such a bad experience. It hurt so bad, not gonna lie. I did a front flip, and I landed on my back in the middle of the arena after getting pile drived in the private by the saddle horn. I'm like laying there on my back, and if you guys have ever seen like Home Alone, like when Harry and Marv get wiped out by the kid. Oops. And they're like, that was me. So after 5 minutes and the guy running to the arena to make sure I was okay, he picks me up off the ground, and I'm like, oh my gosh. But then I'm like, I can't let the horse know that he beat me. Like, I can't let that happen. So I get on, and I back into the box again, the whole length of the arena, and I scored a couple calves, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm never going to get to rope again because I don't have any money. I didn't look for consistency. That was the problem. Like when you're trying your horse, and to tie it all back together, that big long story, is you have to look for consistency. If you go to a person's house and you try the horse and they say, hey, you can run 2 calves or you can run 1 calf. You say, okay, no, thank you. I'll see you later. That should be a question. When I come try the horse, how many can I run on it? If you can't run more than 4, like 4, at least 4, you don't need to go there. Don't get tricked into thinking that I can run 1 or I can run 2. And here's the thing. If you've seen the horse go at the national finals and you've seen him go all over America and you've seen people run, that's different, okay? But if you've never seen the horse, look for consistency. They should work consistently. They should be calm, cool, and collected. And you should be able to make your runs. I'm not even saying it has to go perfect. I'm not saying that the runs have to go perfect and you got to catch every calf and everything's got to be perfect, but the horse should be consistent. Now, if you're buying a horse that's never been started before in any event, I get it. Sometimes they're a little fragile, but you know that going in and you're prepared for that. If you're looking for a finished calf horse or a seasoned calf horse, they should be consistent. You should be able to make at least 4 runs, maybe 5, maybe even up to 10 if they're just an old solid campaigner and you just want a really quiet horse. But look for consistency. And when I say that, do they run to the calf good? Do they stop okay? Do they pull good? Are they good in the box? Is it the same thing every time? Because when you get consistency, then you're able to build confidence. The only way that we get our confidence is by having a consistent go every single time. Now, for example, let's say this horse goes out there and he does, maybe the first time he doesn't stop at all. And then the second run, you're thinking, oh man, is this horse going to stop? And then the next one, he stops okay, but he's bad in the box. And so by the third run, you're thinking, well, this time he doesn't score good. And is he going to stop? And then the person selling you the horse says, if you use your hand better, and if you do this better, then the horse will be fine. That's a trick. Don't fall into that. The horse either fits you or he doesn't fit you. Yes, you can improve your riding over time, but it should be with a rock solid horse that fits your goals. Consistency through horsepower is what gives you the confidence to go on and make runs and to win and to be able to catch and to be able to do it all. Very important. Look for consistency. And you only get that by making more than 4 runs. Don't do like I did. Don't do a front flip off a horse, get your cojones smashed, and spend your life savings and borrow to go and do it. It sucks. I'm not going to tell you, like, it was so bad. I was black and blue in areas I've never been black and blue before, and I could promise you that. And I don't want that for anybody else. I mean, it was terrifying. Hey, do me a favor. If you like this video, let's you and me make a deal. Let's shake hands. Yeah, that good, firm cowboy handshake. If you like this video, do me a favor. Share it with somebody. Subscribe to the channel. And my end of the bargain, I will bring you everything I know about being a high performer, a world champion, and an entrepreneur. If that sounds like a fair deal, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment too, because I'm going to answer every single comment that comes in on this video. After you've tried the horse and you know there's consistency there, you got to proceed to number 5. Number 5 is fit and feel. If the answer is not 100% yes, that means no. Did the horse feel, was he soft off my hand, or I had to kick him to get him going? Does he have a soft mouth? Does he bridle up and collect his head? If I ask him to stop, does he stop on all fours, just like put? Or does he stop nice? All of these things are things that you should be asking yourself. Like, does the feel good? Is the fit there? Do I like this horse's stride? So many times when you go to try a horse or you're looking at a horse, you know what the feels good or not get. Typically, after we load circles and we kind of like get the feel, we know if we like the way this horse moves or don't move. If the answer after you try the horse is not 100% yes, that means no. Okay? So many times we like this, and this about the horse, but we don't like this and this. And then somebody starts talking to us. And all of a sudden, it's like, okay, I can put up with that and that. So when we're getting into the step 5, that fit, that feel, we're going to ask ourselves, do I really like this horse? Could I see myself riding this horse? Could I see myself catching on this horse? Could I see myself making good runs on this horse? If the answer is not 100% yes, it means no. Even if you go try 5 horses and don't buy anything, even if you go try 10 horses and don't buy anything, if it's not 100% yes, that means no. Got it? Okay, that's step 5. Step 5 is fit and feel, and subcategory, if it's not 100% yes, it's no. So many times we try to convince ourselves into liking this horse or that horse. I hope you're taking notes. I hope you're, utilizing this as best as possible. And I'm 37 years old. It's taken me 37 years to put this stuff together, to share it with all of you guys. And I had to go through a lot of hard knocks to get this, as you already know. Let's go into step 6. Once you know the horse, you've rode the horse, you like the horse, you've been very specific to your goals, everything's come along nicely, you know the fit and feel's correct, and the answer is 100% yes. Once you get to that point, do not just pay for the horse. Number 6, get a vet check. Vet checks can be very expensive. Some people call them pre-purchases or whatever, but you have to get one. At least this is my personal thing. If you're spending less than $15,000 and you know the history of the horse and all that stuff, then maybe you don't need one. But simple pre-purchases are not expensive. A simple pre-purchase could be literally going to a vet, having them flex them, their knees, ankles, hocks, stifles, feel over the back, see if there's anything. If they find something, a lot of times if that horse has been trained, that's not going to be an option. Like, there's going to be a little bit of something somewhere. So when I say get a vet check, if they flex them around and you're spending less than $15,000, say, well, he's a little sore in his right knee, but it's just some arthritis. Okay, well, I can maintain that. I can maintain that through injections, through proper guidance from a vet. That's not a problem. What we're looking for here is time bombs. When you do the pre-purchase, and guys, I'm not a vet. I've just literally done this hundreds of times over my lifetime. It's important that once they flex the horse, and for me, it always depends on how much money I'm spending. Like when you guys go to a pre-purchase, or you're working with a vet or working with somebody else, what they think is the right thing. If you're picking a vet, make sure it's a vet that does this regularly. You don't want a guy that's like first time. Oh, I've never done this before. I think he's all right. Okay, well, I'm spending $25,000. You want somebody confident when you're putting your money out there, right? So get somebody that's done it. But the thing is, for me, once they flex the horse, if there's any type of like owiness or uncertainties, I x-ray. If I'm spending over $15,000, I x-ray hocks, I x-ray stifles, I x-ray all feet, I x-ray knees and ankles. Depending on where you're at, that's going to be between $1,200 and $2,500 to do it all. If you're worried about like kissing spine or something like that, if the horse test really sore his back, you get x-ray his back. I don't go as far as doing an ultrasound typically if I'm doing a vet check. Now, if I was to do an ultrasound, I would be worried about something being acutely wrong with that horse in that moment. So that's kind of what I do. But again, the vet check or the pre-purchase with the professional, with the veterinarian, not just Uncle Bob down the road, okay? With the certified veterinarian could save you tens and thousands of dollars. I had deals done, like done. The horse met every single thing that I wanted all the way up through. All I had to do was write the check and the vet had to prove it was good. And then we found out that the horse had holes in his coffin bone, or we found out that the horse had navicular, or we found out something that was a ticking time bomb. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm not interested in investing in a time bomb. I'm just not. It's just not me. I want them to be clean. Whatever is the issue, I want it to be maintained through either medication or a vet being able to inject something. Again, I'm not looking for perfection, but I am looking for no time bombs. I don't want any time bombs. And it's up to you to decide what that is. For me, it's something that could happen to the horse that take them out immediately and end their entire career. That's step 6. Get a vet check. Once you know that everything's good to go, this is step 7. This is the final step. This is the last straw. You need to reflect on your goals and don't be pressured. So many times when things start to get towards the end, somebody wants to do some fast talking or somebody wants to just visit or do something, and then you're kind of like gently persuaded. Typically, at this point, I know what I'm going to do after the vet check. I've outlined my goals at the beginning, but this is just one more chance for you guys to protect yourself. We all want that horse that lasts us our whole life, right? I personally build a strong connection to my horses. I like my horses, and it's hard for me to be like, okay, I'm going to sell this one or do that. Like, I just don't like it. I grew up training and selling horses, but every time I went to sell one, it always kind of was like it hurt a little bit because I actually liked the horse. So step 7, reflect on your goals. What are my goals? Again, does this horse fit what I need him to be and to do? And if the answer is yes, and the person's not pressuring you, go ahead and buy the horse, get the horse, do the horse, take the horse, make the horse your lifetime horse, the horse that you love, the horse that you cherish, the horse that is going to serve you for a very long time, because it's all about a partnership. And we want to do this right the first time. We don't want you getting it a couple days into it and then finding out you can't run 3 calves on a horse, right? We don't want that, because we're all looking for that rock solid horse. We're all looking for that one that's going to take care of us. Set your goals, know your intentions, be specific. Try the horse, look for consistency. Go through the whole 7-step framework that I've outlined for you, because if you go through this framework, this alone could save you tens and thousands of dollars. And this is something that nobody's talking about. Nobody ever talks about this. I don't know why they don't talk about it. I'm just here to protect you. I want you to have a great experience on a horse, because I know that that horse will go on and serve you forever. So I hope you take the 7 steps. And if you're a person who's struggling with getting the momentum and getting the ball rolling, I have something amazing for you. It's called the Cowboy Challenge. Down in the description below, I want you to accept the challenge, the Cowboy Challenge, to give you momentum, to give you resiliency, to give you mental toughness, to go on and chase life. And you can check that out. There's also a ton of free stuff in the description below. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. I truly will read every single comment on this video. And guess what? If you want to watch another amazing video, check this one out right here. I know that it will serve your life. Take care. Adios.